Welcome back to Really Married. Today, we're going to talk about home prices nationally. And I think that's really important when you look at your local market and when you look at where you're going to buy. So my guest, Cheryl Stokes, super excited to talk about that today. Cheryl, I'm getting a lot of questions about pricing, pricing in our area, but we're going to start as usual with the national numbers. And go ahead and read what Selma Hepp from CoreLogic is saying.
Yes, Selma is saying home prices have mostly been moving sideways starting in late summer through the end of 2024, a trend that may continue into the early months of 2025.
And we certainly saw that sideways because with the election year, which was anticipated, less sales. In our area, we had a few other things that were happening, and then we came into our high season, and we haven't seen that rebound yet. So if we look at this with Case-Shiller, and this particular graph is really talking about home price growth remains relatively flat, but it's month over month. So the last month they have on here, Cheryl, was 0.5%. November was 0.4%.
Right.
And on and on and on. They are small numbers comparatively to what we saw previously, but they are up.
They are up. It is growth. And, over time, growth changes.
Yeah.
And the good news is it's not negative growth. And that's
right.
That's really what we're looking for.
That's right. And if you look at really, the top 20 cities, metro areas, they go from the high. What is the high on this one? New York at 7.22%. Chicago, good for you, Chicago. You're 6.6% because they've been negative and really low for a long time. Right. But here in Florida, it's minus 1.1 and in Tampa. And then we have Miami, which is 3.28%. Not bad. Not bad. Growth.
And this just goes to show that it's regional and regions change depending on what's going on in their area.
Absolutely. Now, interesting, Case-Shiller does this again, and they're looking at this all the way back to January of 19 in month over month growth, which I think is interesting, Cheryl, when you look at, in 22, it was over 20%.
Right.
From the month before.
That's a lot. That's a lot.
Crazy. No, I lied. It's year over year. It's measuring year over year in a month to month.
Still crazy.
Still crazy.
Yes.
Still crazy with it being over 20%. But now if you look at where we are, in the last data that they have for this one is November of 24. Mm-hmm. We're kind of like back in line, would you say, with 2020?
2020 and 2019. If you look at that graph, the end of 2019, we're about maybe a little bit higher than that.
Yeah.
And I think about that all the time. I really think 2019 was the last normal year.
Yes.
And we're kind of back to normal.
Yeah. Normal's not bad.
Right.
Normal is not bad because we saw a lot of bad things that happened in those crazy years and good things. So what's our friends at Zillow saying?
So Zillow says prices are expected to rise this year, though most will do so more slowly than they did last year. Mm-hmm. Slower growth is good news for buyers who have locked in their budgets and are saving for down payments. And I totally agree with that.
I couldn't agree more. I'm with you 1,000%. Now, these the top average or the average of the top 23 analysts, financial institutions, et cetera, are saying that the home appreciation for 25 as of the end of February was anywhere from minus 2% up to almost 5%. But the average was at 2.7%. Again, modest, but
not a negative, and I think reasonable to expect.
So obviously that's what's happening at the national level for prices, but you're going to want to tune in to our next episode of the Housing Update for March to see what's happening on mortgage interest rates as well as local market. See you then.